This may be the year I've been dreaming of to take Still the One to the Bahamas. Before the crossing, I'll take you along on some short cruises, crossing the Okeechobee again to St. Lucie, and then down to Fort Lauderdale, where I'll stage for good weather to Bimini, then to other islands as transit slips are available. Come along and enjoy beautiful scenery, blue water, white sand, and interesting people that I meet along the way. And we might just learn something.
Me too. So what's the best food here?
All
Everything.
of it. Everything we've had here is very good. This is one of our favorite places.
About 9 times out of 10 when we pick somebody up at the docks, this is where we wind up.
Yeah.
Because 2/3 is the atmosphere, but the food's really good.
Right. So what specifically do y'all? What do y'all do? I mean,
Go ahead.
yeah.
I'm a fire inspector for South Trail Fire Department
Right.
in Fort Myers,
Okay.
and I'm also a part-time towboat captain for Towboat US.
Okay.
So I do water rescue and stuff.
Right.
That's mostly weekends, occasionally on night. And I'm involved with the Fort Myers Power Squadron. Been with them for 4 years, 5 years. Boating is kind of in my blood, so I get on Facebook and follow the loopers because that's something I'd like to do someday.
Yeah.
And just following all of them, looking for ways to do things and getting help here and there. I just kind of put myself out there as somebody come down to the dock, pick you up, take you to get provisions, take you for a meal, whatever, just to help out. You know, I like helping people. So
That's amazing.
we've met probably a dozen people in the last 3 years
Yeah.
that we stay in touch with. You know,
Oh, yeah.
hear from them once in a while.
That's how we met Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt was telling you about that at the dock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in 20.
Yeah.
Saw
When do you tell me again, Matt? When did y'all meet? In 20?
Yeah, I think it was 20.
Yeah,
think so.
2020.
That was first
How
show
did
came
you
across.
connect? I mean,
They posted on some kind of loopers forum that they were available, that people passing through needed a ride to the store or something.
yeah.
like dock host.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's how we met.
We're
Yeah.
not official. We're not official ALGCA dock hosts.
Did you ever talk to the
The sweet tea
city about
and then the happy
representing them somehow?
No, it gets political real quick.
Gotcha.
And doing it the way I'm doing it, I can do what I want when I want. I'm available when I want to, and nobody has any
Yeah,
expectations.
there's no
No obligation.
no obligation.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Get it.
Absolutely. I'm a
See y'all like that.
middle school special education
Maybe I
teacher.
finish
The middle school what?
Special education teacher.
So is my wife.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
That's funny.
Small world.
I can't tell you how many teachers that I have met that are special ed over the last. I'm probably most of the wives. It seems like most of the wives. I go to the bars and hang out just so I can meet people and you know get to know folks and just have a good conversation, learn some stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like all the wives are all special ed. You know.
Yeah.
Which
I love
that
it.
says something about our society right now.
Yeah.
That we have so many special ed teachers.
We do. We do. My school has about, so I do IEP.
What's that?
I do IEPs and
Yeah,
I
I
do.
hear that term all the time.
Yep, and I do 504s. So I
Haven't heard
do.
that term.
That's just the accommodations, and then the IEP is like a goal and specialized services.
Right.
So I do both for
Right.
a K through 8, but I
There's
mostly.
a spectrum, and your kids are where on the spectrum?
All of my kids are in the general education classroom.
Oh, that's my wife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all of my, so
so-
I spend most of my day in a 7th grade math class co-teaching with a 7th grade math teacher.
Yep. Cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there are a lot of parents that love you. And so, y'all are husband and wife,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And your husband got into this, and you're like, let's go, or I don't
Yeah.
know what you're getting us into.
We've been boating since we got together. I mean, that was,
Nice.
well, when we were in Arizona, it was four-wheeling.
Yep.
And then we moved to Kansas, and it was boating. and it's been boating ever since. So yeah, I love it.
She said 7 deadly words to me one day.
I did.
She said, I think we need a bigger boat.
Yes.
We had a 27-foot express cruiser. Had friends and family on it. It was too many people and not enough room. And she says, if we're going to do this, I think we need to get a bigger boat. And it's gone nuts from there.
Always been a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Always been a bigger boat.
Matt, how long have you been boating now?
About 25 years.
And you've done the loop how many times?
Just once.
Just once? By yourself?
Yep.
Yeah. And what boat?
Main ship 34.
And how do you consider that boat for a loop? I mean, what's your
It's a great loop boat for a single-hander and even a couple, but it's single engine diesel. It's fairly efficient for power boats.
right?
It's easy to handle, and I could get from the helm on the flybridge to the side decks in a couple of seconds for going through locks and stuff.
Right.
So, no, it's great.
Yeah. So, did you do the Tom Bigby,
Yeah.
or did you go all the way down the Mississippi?
Oh no, I don't think hardly anybody goes off the limits.
Yeah, anybody.
There's not good recreational infrastructure for recreational boating in lower Mississippi.
Exactly.
Pretty much everyone goes Ohio, Tennessee, 10 Tom Bigby.
And they got
And what's your dream boat?
What dream boat?
What's your dream boat? What's the boat you're waiting to get?
Nordhaven 55.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd love to have that boat. Oh, it's a gorgeous
We've looked at a
boat.
lot of boats because we want to do real cruising, like around the world. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we're going to do the loop. We're probably going to do the loop on our 45 hat. But the Nordhaven for open ocean and stuff is just such a good boat. It's got so much room. It's laid out so well, and I love the boat. We've looked at 3 or 4 of them in person.
What's the range on a boat like that?
5,000 miles.
Be very careful with this.
Tank of fuel. 5,000 miles. That's crazy.
It's got
A lot of gas.
most of them are
Help yourselves.
single engine with a wing. They've got a secondary motor that has a hydraulic connection to a secondary prop shaft. It's a get home. They call it a wing motor. And then a single main engine, and they're set up for long range slow cruising, and that is exactly what they're best for, and they do it well.
Yeah.
But they're expensive.
What's the price range for something like that?
The ones we've been looking at, used 7 or 8 years old, are still in the $1 million range.
Okay.
So, a teacher and a firefighter.
But
That's funny.
yeah, firefighter and a
Is it
teacher. Yeah, you're all over the $1 million.
already
Y'all
been
can handle it.
indicted.
We are
Yeah.
all over it.
We've got a really nice piece of property that we bought at a really good time from somebody that wasn't trying to make a bunch of money on it. So we got a really, really, really good deal. And we stand to be able to sell it at a reasonable profit. And by the time we're ready to do the loop or travel or ... maybe we'll be in a position to just sell that and go full-time live aboard like a lot of people do.
Right.
And if that's the case, then it's not outside the realm of possibility. I've also got a 45-foot Hatteras that I'm restoring, and I own it free and clear. So I'm going to have a pretty good investment in that.
Right.
It's not going to be cheap to sell, or it's not going to be cheap to buy for whoever winds up
Right.
buying it. So that's going to give us a reasonable amount of money to work with. And with 2 pensions, maybe we can afford to finance something that big, if we put enough down on it. But that's another day. That's something we...
So you're when you go looping, you're not thinking about working as well.
I actually am.
Okay.
I would probably do something either if I could do online
That's what I was
teaching.
going to say.
I could do
as a
online
teacher,
teaching,
you can-
tutoring,
yeah,
things like that. Yeah. All in
You're
good.
learning so much now. I mean, you'll have a, really good understanding of where you want to go and what you want to do.
Well, I get to talk to all the people that have done it personally, not the highlights from their YouTube or the good stuff that they tell when they write their book or whatever.
Right.
But I get to hear all of the little side stories and stuff.
Yep.
You sit down with somebody and you talk to them for an hour or so, and you get a lot of the real details.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's the part I like about this, because it's just filling my cup full of all kinds of knowledge.
That's exactly why we're doing this.
Well, with towboats, you tow so many people that are loopers and that have done it, and you get that opportunity to have those conversations
Oh, yeah.
while you're towing them and stuff too.
And you
so
figure when I'm towing a boat like that, I get to go 4 or 5 knots. So I'm tied up alongside a 40, 50-foot boat for 9 or 10 hours. I get to hear all of the stories. So I'm
don't
soaking
do
up
this.
all kinds of good knowledge. And it's fun to hear, what to
and then
do,
he
what
comes
not
home
to do.
and tells me
Because
because I don't often know.
If I don't tell her, I'll forget.
Everybody I've talked to that's done the loop so far have that one experience where they thought they were going to die.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Where they were on a boat and they come up against a storm or something and it was throwing them everywhere and they didn't know if they were going to make it.
How many of those are on the crossing between Carabelle out across the Gulf?
Probably so.
Yeah.
I think I'll be your first person that doesn't.
You've never had that experience?
No.
That's good.
But I didn't cross the Gulf. I went around
Stayed inside.
Hatchie.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't know what brand the marina that I work with on Pine Island. So I ship my boat back and forth on a truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's cost me $6,000 one way to go from Chattanooga to Cape Coral or vice versa.
Oh crap!
2 days.
It cost us $5 to move a 32-foot carver from what was the town?
It was Winthrop, Dubuque, Iowa,
Dubuque, Iowa to Topeka,
to
Kansas.
Topeka, Kansas.
Yeah. Wow.
On a truck.
Yeah.
Which isn't that far.
No.
And I was the chase truck, and we did it at night.
Yeah, he's 700 miles, almost 700 miles. He has to have a pilot
Yep.
for Florida.
So you're well over 12-foot beam, right?
13.
Yeah, so you got it. I'm surprised you don't have to have two pilot cars.
No, just one.
Okay.
And and he's fantastic. He's hauled it 5 times for me now.
Awesome.
And I've just, I can't ask for anything better. So it's $8,000 in fuel plus all the wear and tear to drive it in 3 weeks of my time versus 2 days
Yeah.
at $6,000.
Right.
I think yours would be a little bit more expensive to move overland.
Oh,
I don't think you can.
No.
You'd have to take the whole flybridge off.
Yeah.
You'd have to tear it apart.
That's not
We
happening.
were thinking about that with the carver that we moved.
Yeah.
We weren't sure if we were going to get it or not.
The advantage with my boat and his trailer is he can put it on backwards. He does not have to take the props off.
Oh, nice.
He hauls it backwards, and it's like the limit is 15 feet, and it's like 14.6 or something like that from the ground. So he's measured it every time. So I have to take off the radar, or the radar, and I have to take off and lay the antenna down. And I used to have a TV antenna. I took that off, and the light. So I remove those 3 things, and then I don't wrap it, but I take everything that could blow off or get ripped off somehow, and take it off and put it
Stuff
down
not necessarily designed for 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, backwards.
Backwards.
That's
Yeah.
exactly.
60 miles an hour
I
backwards.
lost the emblem on my steering wheel. It blew off. Yeah.
Of all things.
I wouldn't think a high probability item.
No. So that blew away. But everything else, I take all the canvas off.
Hurricane prep.
I take the frame off and I shrink wrap or zip tie it to the frame up front, or to the rail and to the, all that. It takes me a good day.
You do all the prep yourself.
Yeah, it takes me a good day to get it ready to go, and then another day or 2 to get it back together.
Yeah.
We had a 32-foot, it was a Carver Mariner. Yeah, the Mariner. And we had the full flybridge canvas, We had canvas, screen, and isinglass for the whole fly bridge. And then we had a connector that came down to the cockpit, and we had full canvas for it, all three, screen, canvas, and isinglass. So we could set it up however we wanted to.
Yeah.
And we put the isinglass on in the winter, so that way we could go, because we had in the marina, they had the bubblers and everything, and we'd go down, and the kids love to fish and stuff in the winter.
So
and
that's how they keep the water from freezing.
Yeah.
they have
Well,
bubblers.
if you're in the right latitudes, much further north, and you can't do that because it freezes too solid.
Right.
But yeah, down where we were in Topeka, Pomona Lake, just south of Topeka.
Just south of Topeka.
They put bubblers under the slips, and then it because the air is coming up, it draws the warm water off the bottom with it, and it keeps it from freezing at the surface.
Yeah. I mean, there'll
have-
be like a little
It's more
time.
than moving the water; it's actually bringing.
Yeah, pulling the warmer water up.
Wow,
There may be a little.
that's new
tiny-
information.
We'd go out there. There'd be 2 or 3 inches of ice around the boat,
Yeah.
but it'd be clear immediately around the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The kids would just fish right there. I mean, they wouldn't catch anything
We're ice
because it was
fishing.
too
Yeah,
cold.
where there's no ice.
But yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's we're that way in Chattanooga. I mean it gets 30s at night and 50s during the day, usually in the winter, and so not many people will boat in the winter. Although we don't have any ice on anywhere.
since we had such a big boat, we didn't haul it out because there really wasn't provisions for that on our lake.
Right.
There
Nobody
was
the lift wasn't big enough.
there was 4 of us.
Yeah, there was
4 of us that
boats.
stayed in
Yeah.
year round,
Yeah.
so they had bubblers under those, and we were out there midwinter.
Yeah.
In January, they had a polar bear club that used to go out water skiing.
Ooh.
They'd go out and they'd break up the ice and go water skiing. I don't know what was wrong with them.
No.
Yeah, they did. They have a ski club that's on that lake, and the ski club, the kids would come out and they do like an exhibition.
Exhibition
Easy for you to say.
Exactly.
Right. Must have been that beer.
That was not beer. But
No, it wasn't.
it was not.
That's
beer.
that's what you needed.
That's what I
Hitting
needed.
themselves in the head with a hammer. Are you going to do it just because they're doing it? No.
They would do an exhibition. They had some kids that did barefoot skiing and stuff like that, and they would do tandem, and they would do a big group of them, and they do pyramids and stuff on New Year's Day, if the lake wasn't completely frozen over.
Yeah.
We were there. We
They
lived
bust out the
there
ice
7
from
years.
the boat ramp out to the main lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the water levels controlled in Chattanooga by dams?
It is.
They lower it a lot in the winter?
Yes, they do. Probably 5 or 6 feet.
Is there still
8
enough water
feet,
to boat if
something.
you wanted to?
Oh yeah, but you have to be really careful because there's a lot of shallow spots
Yeah.
at that point.
Not what I think.
Yeah, and mainly it's people, pleasure boaters. Once December hits, it's down in the 30s by that point, and once the Christmas parade is done,
They're done.
Most people are pretty much done with boating. They'll go out and hang out on the dock, because that's like their second house.
Second home, yeah.
At the marina,
Yeah.
and do parties and stuff out at the marina. I rent a slip in the state park, and so it's empty all winter long. They won't even let me sublease it out. I can't. They won't even let me
That's the way it
borrow
was
to
because we
somebody,
were in a
lend
state
it to
park too.
somebody. They won't let me put another boat in it other than my boat.
There's a private marina in a state park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours
Well,
was.
this is a state park marina in the state park, but they're just anal about all that, which is fine. I mean, it's $300 a month. I mean, for a, covered slip,
Water and electric and
16 feet of water below me.
yeah.
Yeah, electric.
Nice.
Oh, we didn't. We had about 4 or 5 feet below us because we
Yeah.
were towards the head of the dock.
Yeah, it's a great place for us to boat.
I'm lucky if I've got 8 inches underneath the keel right down in my boat.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have that problem when I bring the hat
I
down
was
to the
going to
house.
say at our house, we have right now under the cruisers.
where do you draw?
5'3"
I got 6 feet
Wow.
under the back of
Fair
the
bit.
cruisers.
Yeah,
for a
Yeah.
power boat.
But
Yeah.
the majority of that channel is only about 3
But
feet.
it's, it's 60 to 70,000 pound boat.
do you have tunnels for the props?
There's a
So
keel. I have a keel. The
Okay.
props are not the first thing to hit.
okay,
I do
so
not
at
want a
least-
boat where the props are the first thing to hit.
Yeah,
No,
But so
Yeah.
there's a keel. It's not like the sailboat keel, but it's still you know, I'd have to make an effort to get the props in the bottom.
Right. Mine are their tunnels. In
It
mine.
gives you some shallower draft.
Yep.
So I'm 3.5 feet, roughly.
Yeah, it's the elbow chair has a lot of draft for a floor.
Oh yeah.
You know, the main ship was like 3'2", so I could go most places, but and plus it was a protected single engine full keel, so it was a protected prop. But I got to be a little more careful with this boat. It draws a lot of water.
Have you ever run it up on ground?
Of course.
Oh yeah. Every day.
When have I not run it up on there?
Every trip. What the
What's the
hell?
worst time that you thought, uh-oh, I damaged it this time? Or did you? How fast were you going? full bore, 8 miles an hour? Yeek.
I'm not
Yeah,
necessarily
sorry.
going to say this if this is being predicted for prosperity.
Oh,
Mess up your reputation, huh?
The full, you know, full disclosure. No, you know, never do anything at high speed on the elbow chair because it's not a fast boat.
Right.
You know,
high speed is relative.
Yes.
high speed on that thing is when you get, you know, a current helping you through, you know, under a bridge or something, and you're like, oh man, 10, 11 knots, I'm really flying now because I got 4 knots of current helping me.
There you go.
Actually happened on this trip here, coming down St. John's. I had a little brain fart, wasn't paying quite close enough attention, got a little too close to shore, and I could feel myself bumping over the shallows, so I stopped and, you know, stopped the boat and started backing up without paying enough attention to the shoal that was behind me, so I backed up into a shoal, which is not good,
No.
because then the first thing to hit is going to be the rudders and the props. That was bad.
Yeah. But I assume you didn't do any damage. You got out without any damage, or we haven't heard that story yet.
Well, the boat hadn't been out of the water.
So you don't know.
Any damage, but not significant damage.
Yeah.
Maybe no damage, but
Okay. Oh yeah.
That's what happens when you put your $1 million boat on the rocks in the channel at about 30.
Yeah.
well, I haven't done that because I don't have $1 million boat, let alone $1 million boat that'll do 30.
Yeah, that's fun.
It took us the better part of 2 hours to get him off of the rocks.
So I just grinded them down. Is that what that is?
You know, it folded him
Or
over.
bent them. Yeah.
Yeah, as he went up on there,
Yeah.
they hit once or twice because like the top blade is just kind of curled a little bit, so it just got a little bit right at the beginning. But
So that's the next thing. You rip all that out, and now you're going to sink the boat because it's drawing water like crazy, right?
my job, once we got it off the rocks where it was actually trying to support itself on the water, was to stay in that boat and keep it floating while my partner towed the boat to Indiantown.
I was up in Wisconsin one time. They towed a Tiara and they run full speed over a shoal out in the Green Bay,
Oh,
and they had pumps running just so they could keep it afloat till they got to the travel lift and haul it out.
it sounds crazy, but tools on a recovery towboat include chunks of plywood and spray foam. Because
Try and pull the hole.
the
Yeah.
spray foam will set up in the water.
Yeah.
It's sticky no matter what. And all you got to do is stop most of the water.
Yeah.
The pressure of the water will hold it on there, and you can float a lot of damage with spray foam and plywood.
Wow. Interesting.
Not something you want to do real often.
Another fun fact. So if you're prone to running
Secrets of the
your
trade.
boat aground, I suggest foam and plywood. The end
If
of
you're going to run your boat aground, it's better to do it at slow speed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
The vast majority of the stuff we do, we wind up using just airbags and
Yeah.
pumps, but when it gets really bad like that, a lot of the boats that came out after Ian were absolutely covered with plywood and spray foam. Just covered. You got to cover the big holes.
What do you just spray it all over the board and then just stick it up there and it sticks? Okay.
Yep.
And then
And it's
cures.
not necessarily a real strong fix, but you know, you're relying on the pressure of the water to keep it on there.
Yeah, yeah.
And the foam kind of keeps most of the water out, you know. And like if you got a boat with big windows or something in it that are already underwater, you cover the windows, you cover any of the big openings, all the big scuppers and your hawse pipes and everything else. Cover all that stuff up so you can get it out of the water in the first place. Because all of that's going to fight you trying to bring it up. But crash kits have some interesting stuff in them.
I bet. So I've got twin 8.1 Merc Cruisers, gas in mine. And I do not like to run it at cruising speed, which is 3,400 RPMs, because I'm doing 26 miles an hour.
Right.
I just don't like doing it because I don't want to
Too fast?
too fast.
A lot can happen.
What's the slowest cruising speed where you can maintain plane?
Probably just under that.
Oh, so below that, then you might as well just be trawler speeds.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I do is I'm 8-9 miles an hour. That's all I do. And I'm much happier there. I've got a real nice. I upgraded everything. I've got all new chart plotters, a new autopilot, so I can make my my route on my phone, the Navionics, upload it into the chart plotter, hit the button, and it will follow that chart from beginning to end.
That's
I
awesome.
only had to make one adjustment. It had me going on the port side of the bridge opening, and these folks were coming on me, so I had to disengage and get out of their way. Other than that, it followed right through the bridges, everything perfect. It's really a nice system. It's a little hard to understand, and I'm still trying to figure out how to pick up a waypoint after I've gotten off the route and stuff. Otherwise, it wants me to go back to the beginning.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
We're not starting over.
No U-turns here. Yeah, disengage.
That's nice to be able to enjoy the trip, though.
Oh,
I have to concentrate 100% on.
Exactly. It's so nice. I mean, I'm checking my phone and all, but I'm also watching for buoys because they're in the wrong place or markers or whatever.
pots.
Crab pots. Yeah.
I would just like to have a functioning autopilot
We need to work
Yeah.
on that.
instead of hand steering all the time.
It'd probably
Oh,
be
that's-
cheaper just to hire a first mate than it would be to.
Fix the autopilot.
You might be able to get one that's got fringe benefits.
Yeah, you have to hope you get lucky in that regard because I don't want to get into management issues.
Yeah, right?
That's a whole nother
Yeah,
thing.
that's a big old ball of wax you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you're not that motivated about getting the autopilot fixed then, huh?
Well, it's on the list, but it's not the top of the list. It's not as important as generator and electricity.
It got bumped by a bow thruster here recently, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's more important as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that list gets.
So I bought mine. I paid $135 for it. And in the year after I had it, I put $150 in it.
That sounds like a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all I did is just replace. And the first 2 or 3 months was getting it ready for the trip. The rest of the time was fixing it from being in salt water and just using it.
Yeah.
I had no issue from Chattanooga all the way to St. Pete.
That actually makes me feel a little bit better about myself. So I paid $155 for a whole boot chair, and I don't think I put that much in it yet. But
Yeah.
I still think it's enough.
Well, let's see. You've got 4 or 5 things will take you well over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on
Yeah.
the list.
I replaced the shafts on it, and the shafts are 17 feet long.
Good God.
They ended up costing $3,400 each,
Oh my. Yeah.
and yeah,
My
it was more
biggest
expensive than I
expense
expected.
coming forward is the engines are a mechanic in Clearwater says, or in Cape Coral says you can do them for $7,000 an engine to rebuild them.
Overhauls?
Yeah.
Are they in need of them? Or are they getting tired?
No, they're good.
Oh,
They're good. But I just don't.
how many hours on
1,500.
So,
gas motor? That still doesn't seem that
spending,
much.
yeah, it doesn't. Spending as much time as you do at the speeds you do, have you thought about going diesel?
Well, the
be
conversion would
expensive.
be
Yeah, it'd be astronomical in that, but
impossible. Yeah.
it might be a boat
You
swap.
have
kind
to
of
change the gas, fuel tank.
Oh, yeah, you gotta
There's
change
so
everything.
much you got to change, and no,
Probably easier to change boats.
Yeah.
yeah, it would be. It'd be cheaper to change boats. But So yeah, you get more range out of diesel, but if you don't have the right engines, you're not going to get any more speed.
No.
You know,
Get better efficiency,
a
but
lot better efficiency.
But
I
you
mean,
spend so much
I
money.
can probably go. I can do what, 200 miles at 8 or 9 miles an hour.
you can go about 2,000.
Yeah,
But not at 8 or 9 because I don't go that fast. But
right, right. But,
Downstream.
yeah,
Downwind.
currents don't last that long.
so, you know, I can't do a crossing.
You just have to always remember the blowers.
Oh yeah, without a
You
doubt.
don't have to worry about that diesel. The gasoline,
Oh yeah.
always got to
Oh
remember
yeah.
the blowers.
That's
Boy, that we've all been reminded of that
Recently,
poignantly, quite
was it
recently.
Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah,
boat
Fort
was-
Oh,
Lauderdale.
I saw
Yeah.
the video. Absolutely, that's like a clamshell.
Yes, it was.
Just
That was
opens them
horrible.
right up.
Yeah. Had a neighbor in my marina that his boat blew up at the dock. And so yeah, those blowers come on and they're both running, and that's like I don't even think about starting that engine without the blower.
I mean, you're much less likely to have a problem with injected engine than carbureted.
Absolutely.
But still,
But still, yeah.
still,
But there's gas in there,
Not
so
worth taking
not
the
worth
chance.
taking the risk.
propane is an issue too. And that's on my boat, but it's outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm love my boat. I'm very pleased with it. It's very comfortable in the salon, and I got a king size bed and a stand up shower.
Nice.
I got as much room in my boat as I do my motorhome, and I love my motorhome. You know?
They're basically the same thing, just slightly different modes of transportation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The boat's a little heavier.
A little more expensive.
Yeah,
A little heavier.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little harder to get into those pull-through spots at the state park, too.
Yes. Yes.
I just think
I could
what you
get
see from the water.
Colt
is
to do it with the trailer though if I need to. Where are you gonna stay? I'm gonna stay in an RV park. I'm just gonna back it
in the
into
boat.
this.
Yep. We did that when we brought our first
motorhoming.
Yeah, motorhoming.
Yep. We had our first boat together was a 27-foot Carver Montego.
Oh God, that was the worst trip ever. We towed it home from Winthrop Harbor,
Nope.
just out. Yes.
Oh, Winthrop Harbor. Oh yeah, you're
Yes,
right. You're right. I'm
Winthrop
sorry.
Harbor. Yes,
Sorry,
and
you're
just outside Chicago, in a 2-wheel drive
Half-ton.
half-ton Tahoe, and we all the way back to Topeka, Kansas.
How much that boat weigh?
A lot.
I'm pretty much guessing the Tahoe wasn't rated.
No.
No. Let's just
We
say
didn't have brake control on it. Either.
Oh,
it was, no,
you're kidding
no,
me.
and it was us two, our 3 kids. We didn't have the dog. We left the dog at home, but it was our 3
The dog
kids.
had the best deal out of that.
That
right?
best deal. We traded the boat for some cash and
No, just the custom motorcycle.
just the motorcycle.
Just the bike.
He had a custom motorcycle. It was beautiful. Very beautiful bike. But it wasn't a family thing. So when we moved to Kansas, he sold the bike and we traded it for this boat. It was in Winthrop Harbor. We trailered the bike up there in this little tiny itty bitty
U-Haul.
U-Haul. Perfect. No big deal. Tahoe handled it just
Tahoe
fine,
was
right?
cool with the motorcycle.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fine.
it was
fine
Perfectly
with the
fine.
motorcycle.
We pulled into the marina at
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock at night, so it was dark. Traded. Here you go, paperwork, sign. Here's your boat, and it's on a trailer sitting there, brand new trailer. Dude had bought the trailer as part of the deal because it didn't have one. Triple axle trailer. We hooked up and away we go. And
Probably at least 10,000 pounds.
it was dark. It was night.
12.
We purposely went all of the back roads and really slow. Made it to Iowa 80
Yeah, the Iowa 80 truck stop.
at like 3 o'clock in the morning. God, we were so tired. We went to crawl into the back of it. It was hot.
We were to spend the night in the
We're
boat.
gonna spend the night in the boat. Oh, we're
Got
gonna
this.
crawl
Why
in there.
not?
No big
Yeah.
deal. Nope. Too hot.
Too hot.
Way too hot.
We could get an airflow in there at
Couldn't
all.
get any airflow. Nope. So we slept in the truck. Woke up, 3 hours later,
If that.
if that.
Hit the road again.
Hit the road all the way back. Man, it was like every little bump hit the kids are like, are we okay? I'm like, we are fine.
You're still breathing.
We're still breathing, guys. We're
The
good.
worst part of that trip was towing that boat across the bridge outside of Atchison, Kansas.
Yes. Oh my
Over
gosh.
the Missouri River, I
Yeah.
think. Little old narrow
Little
trestle
tiny
bridge,
narrow bridge.
all steel, steel grate and everything. And it was that wide,
Uh-huh.
2 lanes, and we were that wide. Just that was insane. That was the nail bitingest trip. I think the boat had surge brakes on it. If I remember correctly, the boat had surge. The trailer had surge
Trailer
brakes.
had surge brakes, but we didn't have a brake
I don't
controller.
That's better than no brakes.
It was.
It's true. But at least it's
Marginally.
Yeah.
But we had to go around Chicago because the tolls.
Jesus, the tolls.
The tolls would have killed us because coming into Chicago,
Every 2 miles.
every 2 miles there was, and we didn't have
Let alone if
cash.
anybody actually said anything to you, because I'm pretty sure you're over with.
Oh, I'm
Right. Yeah, we probably should have had a permit.
overweight, overweight, we were over a lot.
We
of
were
things.
over a lot of things.
Overextended.
We were, yeah,
We looked at a bunch of 27-foot express cruisers on the water. You go down, you walk down the slip, you look at the boat, you're like, oh, this is pretty nice. You check out the boat and everything.
It's
We didn't
not
look
near
at
as
any of
big
them
in
that
the
were
water
out of the
as it
water.
We didn't look at them out of the water. We get there into the marina,
She's
and
like,
I'm looking
holy shit, is that
I'm
our
like,
boat?
oh my God,
That's it.
what?
That's a huge boat.
How are we gonna get this? This is not gonna tow this. He goes, oh yeah, we'll make it. We'll make it. I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna kill my truck. It was the craziest, and that was our very first boat, like
Together.
together, and that was the first one that we had bought. And we've been very fortunate. We've never financed a boat. We've
Wow.
never had a boat payment
Wow.
ever. He's really good at negotiating.
Yeah.
We've always either paid outright, we've traded something. We've been very fortunate. And we've had, some sizable boats. We've got the hat is 45, and we're going to own it outright. So
There you go.
just no, but then that frees up the funds to be able to work on them because we can't afford brand new. We can't, so we have to work on them. We have to fix it up. So it gives us that extra to be able to fund the fixing
Right.
without having a monthly payment, so.
I talked to a fellow that had cruised the world in Tampa. I was walking around looking at boats and stuff, and he was standing there by his boat. He told me a little bit about himself. He said, if you're thinking about getting a cruising boat, there's 2 things that you have to understand. One is you cannot worry about money. If you haven't got enough money, don't get a boat, a cruising boat. 2, don't worry about time. Don't ever go on a trip because you are stressed for time. That's when you get killed.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
The worst thing on a boat is the schedule.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm going to Fort Lauderdale to hang out there for a month, hoping that I can get a window to get over to the Bahamas and do some of that, because I am not interested in 5 and 6 foot waves, even on my boat. I'm just not interested in doing that.
Nope.
That's
No,
no
we're-
bueno.
We're fair
Even
weather
if you're
boaters.
down underneath, you're in and out, on top and back under. I did three or four coming down from Steinhatchee to Tarpon Springs.
Yeah.
It was a pretty nasty day.
Yeah.
3 to 4. But I had tailwind, which helped. So
Were you at speed or 8 or 9 knots?
I did. I got up 15.
Okay, so you're doing a little bit of planning.
I was doing a little faster, and it was raining, and it was nasty out, just nasty, cloudy, and I was going through squalls and stuff like that. But
Would have been a good day to just stay put until better conditions.
right. But looking at the weather and what I had gotten to the point, I felt like I was okay to do that, and the boat did fine, and I was comfortable. I wouldn't get rained on or anything like that. It leaks, but I wouldn't get rained on. And but it made it fine, and You know, I just don't want to do that.
No, that's not
I want
fun. That's
black
not why
water.
I'm boating.
Um,
Yeah, I'm out there for fun.
Yeah, if I can't sit out there in the sun, in the breeze, and see and watch, if I have to be down under or in cover, or,
Right.
you know, I don't, it's not enjoyable to me. That's not, like, we'll watch the people that haul over, you know, going out just to go out
Crazy.
fishing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why are
Why
you
would you
even
do
going
that?
out? Like, I understand you have this massively huge boat, but
Let's see, it's
like,
a 25 knot east wind, and I'm going to go out there because why?
right. And the further you get out, the worse it gets. And it's like, to catch a fish, I'll catch a fish tomorrow.
Yeah.
you know,
Fish at the grocery store.
I'll catch a fish tomorrow.
Some people are really into that, but not me.
They
That's not
are.
me, and I don't like anchoring out either. I'm a dock guy.
I don't
think-
mind anchoring out.
I was
like to
gonna
get
say,
my
I
money's-
think-
I like to get my money's worth out of the anchor I bought for that boat.
There you go. Were you guys ready to head out?
I think
Absolutely.
so,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, this is good. Pretty good stuff. Yeah.